Patch 6.4 has just dropped today for Inquisitor Martyr, and if you've come here to check out the latest content, then you've come to the right place. Remember, before we get started, click the little bell down below next to the subscribe button. That way, when I make a new video, you're not going to miss anything. Now, let's get started with the video and talk about the Black Legion. These are the new enemy faction for Inquisitor Martyr, and they are pretty goddamn good looking. The Chaos Spawn in particular, really nice textures. They are the basic melee units of this faction. The Chaos Space Marines, the Havocs, and the Assault units, which are aka Raptors, although they're just referred to as Chaos Space Marines, they're looking pretty goddamn good within this game. Now granted, there's nothing earth-shatteringly different about this faction. They are a reskin with a few minor changes in terms of gameplay from the other Chaos Space Marine factions. However, visually, I do think that these guys look really nice. Now, aside from the brand new faction, we also do have some changes to some of the units. You'll notice the enemy psychers now have proper psychic abilities. They now clap their hands, rub them together a little bit, and send some form of warp lightning bolt at you. It looks pretty goddamn cool. Really, really nice to see, and as well as that, they seem to have a variety of spells that they can cast, so maybe finally that psychic resist attribute is going to be of some goddamn use. Now, moving on from the Black Legion, we also have controller support, and this is something I am actually super excited about, because controllers for me on ARPGs can be one of the best things to happen to the game. Diablo 3 in particular, that game on controller was so much smoother to play and a much better experience for many players. Obviously, it was unfortunate that they didn't want to mix controller and PC support in the same platform, so basically there was no controller support, but for Inquisitor Martyr they say to hell with that, and we're allowed to use controllers with this game now. And I tell you what, I'm going to be doing it all weekend and doing my own review next week on how a controller feels with Inquisitor Martyr, and I am excited about it. Now, as well as that, we also have some quality of life improvements, and I think that's the best way to describe them. You'll notice the chat window in the bottom left has had a bit of a makeover. You'll see this button in particular on the left has been moved, and as well as that, you can now change and customize the array of potential windows. Real mature. Real mature. And as well as that, we also have the changes to the inoculator system. Now it shows with a very clear visual how many total charges you're going to get and how much you're going to be using per charge, and as a nice little visualization here, which I think is just a nice touch. And on the subject of visualizations, we also have the investigation screen getting a bit of an overhaul. They've changed the layout and they've changed the way the information's presented, although the information is largely the same. They've just added a few flashy bits, a few buttons, a few knobs to make it look a little bit more user-friendly perhaps. But I have to say, it does look a lot better, and for those of you that do like reading the content, me personally, I find this a lot easier to absorb now, and I've actually found myself reading a few of these from time to time. So a really good start. Obviously, you can just click your left mouse button if you don't want to read the content and skip forward straight to doing the mission. Now, as well as this, there are some smaller things as well that have been added, like widescreen support. There's been a lot of bug fixes, but that really is the major change. You will also notice as well a slight stability change, and I have myself noticed a slight bump in frame rates. Now, it's nothing dramatic. If you were getting very low numbers before, you're not going to see dramatic changes now. But you'll notice enemy animations in terms of their displayed FPS seem to be a little bit higher and a little bit more consistent, and as well as that, the game runs a little bit more smoothly as optimization is quote-unquote ongoing. Guys and girls, and don't let me forget, one of the major changes within this as well is a long-needed update to some of the lesser gear that we can craft. We can now make ourselves green gear absolutely instantly, so we can bash out an entire set of green gear the moment we level up to a new Inquisitor rank, which of course is going to be nice. However, we do still have to wait for the purples, but they have said they're going to craft and manage and change the timers as and when needed. And as well as this, for researching the tech tree for the crafting system as well, they have removed the timers there. So for those that were concerned about the waiting mechanics implemented within the game, I think it's safe to say that the developers are quite on the ball and ready to make adjustments as and where players feel necessary, guys. And one last thing before I go, this does appear to be half of a milestone. There are two major ingredients of this that we are missing from the October update, one of which is the Elite Unit Overhaul, or the Elite Combat Revision, which was due, as well as that, the actual beginning chapters of the story, the early season that we've not got right now. and that is what I am personally most excited for in October. Now, I don't know if this has been postponed, I don't know what's going on with it. I've tried pressing Neocore for some information as to what's going on. They haven't given us anything yet, but I'm going to get on the case with this and find out what's going on with the latest season, or rather the first season, which, guys, the story for Van Helsing was really good, so I am super hyped for Inquisitor Martyr's story. I really want to get started with it. But I'll just have to be patient, play with controller, deal with it. Guys and girls, remember to like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the video down below in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.